making the most of the beautiful weather. Children in Lydgate, Oldham, spending a day off school they'll probably remember forever. And just when we're in danger of enjoying ourselves, somebody comes and sticks the snow boot in. Well, this time it's the Parents Out Loud campaign group. They say that allowing children to stay at home just because it's snowing encourages the attitude that when things get tough, it's okay to just stay at home and have fun, and that encourages bad behaviour. As if. The biggest regional culprit is Oldham.
Well, it's 10 to 10 and Oasis should be now coming up to being around about an hour into this concert, but they've been off stage for around about half an hour. Not exactly sure what the problem was. They did put up a sign blaming a generator for the problem, but either way, a lot of people weren't happy and some of them started to leave.
Well, what's happening? Nobody even told us what was happening.
The band eventually returned to the stage just after 10 o'clock.
This was the notice that Salford City Council said that I had to put on the front of St George's School. This is the greatest day in our history because we are officially taking it off and we're ripping it to pieces.
The head teacher, Philip Hart, has been campaigning since 2006. Philip, how did you feel when you opened that email this morning?
Well, we're absolutely delighted. As you can imagine, it's been 3 long years of stress and worry, but I'm particularly pleased for the guys behind me because for the last 3 years they've not known about the future of St George's. They've been right behind us in the campaign and we're absolutely delighted as a school community.
As you can see, they're still carrying on working as normal, but guys, come on, tell me, how did you feel when you heard the news this morning?
Yay!
Joke going to come out. She was very willful, very strong. This is why we thought she'd pull through.
Filming was cancelled when the producer of Coronation Street broke the news that Maggie Jones had sadly passed away. Now, she did live here at number 1 and she could often be heard disagreeing with Ken and Deirdre. Anyone who crossed her path here on the cobble streets of Coronation Street, you know, her wit was unleashed upon them. And again here at the Rovers Return, the same happened. There was nobody that could escape the wit of Blanche.
It was only a brief glimpse, but it was enough for the hundreds of people that had made the pilgrimage to Hyde in East Manchester to see Muhammad Ali. Ricky Hatton has made his own name in boxing, but he was simply overwhelmed by the occasion.
Till today, the greatest of all time, and eluded me, and not only did it have been good enough meeting him, but the fact that he's gone out of his way, bearing in mind the difficulties he's got to come to my gym.
If you've ever hosted a dinner party, you'll know how stressful it could be. So imagine cooking for dozens of people who all want something different. If it was left to just me, I think it would be a recipe for a lot of burnt food. Thankfully, the chef here is very good at his job and he's agreed to take me on as his apprentice for the day.
When you eat at home, everybody sits down together. In a restaurant, you know, you can have 50 to 100 people sitting down within 20, 25 minutes. So everything's got to be ready, and you've got to try and make it feel as if they're the only ones in the restaurant.
Next, it was time to polish up my knife skills, and suddenly I realised how blunt the ones are that I have at home and how I'd never actually been shown how to cut things properly. I'm a lot slower.
That's it, no, that's fine.
This is probably a job that Matt does in a few seconds. Don't want any finger in the chives. Obviously, Italian cookery is something lots of us try to have a go at home. What do you think the one thing is which people try and get wrong that they can perhaps learn from?
Not to overcook the pasta. I think that is the one sort of genuine mistake that people make, that they just slightly overcook the pasta. You've got to catch it.
By now the restaurant was open and Matt wanted to put me to the test building one of its most popular pizzas. How's that looking?
Yeah, that's super.
Yeah,
First thing.
I'm scared of dropping it, I think.
Okay. And if we make sure we don't get that flap. It hasn't stuck. It's nicely cooked. Good colour. All the cheese is melted. I think for a first attempt that's a pretty good effort. Yeah, very good.
Would you serve that to a paying customer?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's the test. Thank you very much.
Not 2-0. Okay, well there we go. And they've got the champagne on ice, and so have people across the city centre. Apparently, the supermarkets.
You see, it always happens, doesn't it? Football fans, live television, the excitement of it all.